Hi, this is Ted Wetzel, and this is the essential summary of Is America Broken? 11 Secrets for Getting Back on Our Feet. We find ourselves today on the north coast of the United States. This is Lake Erie. Why are we standing at the foot of Lake Erie? Water is essential. Why do we travel to Mars, and what do we look for? Water. We're going to talk about the essentials of moving from government 1.0 to government 2.0. One of the essentials is that this is not a political book. It's not a partisan book either. This book was written in collaboration with 20 people from different walks of life, different ethnicities, different religions, different professions. It took over 4,000 hours collectively to get the book to this point. No one can understand this problem on a weekend by themselves. So we're offering it as regular people to regular people. This book is about hope. First, that we are not doomed. The Constitution of America is built to deal with crises. It grows through crises. We've been here before. We are in a crisis now, and there will be another crisis. We are not doomed. In fact, this is just regular human stuff. We get out of balance. And that is basically secret number one of the book. We're also hopeful because as Americans, we agree on a lot of stuff. And one of the human tendencies is to dwell on our differences. We agree on a lot of stuff, but boy, how we love to dwell on our differences. One of the essential secrets is the root of this divide is accumulation of power. Accumulation of power with a few people or a few entities that have undue control. Now, our founders were pretty smart, and they built our whole government system around the avoidance of accumulating power. So they built 3 branches of government: legislative, judicial, and executive. Those 3 have checks and balances. They each have different powers that the others don't, and they each can call foul or time out on the other ones if they feel like they're out of miss. Below these 3 branches of government that kind of form a triangle is we the people. We the people are meant to be the ones with the power. And these 3 branches of government, they represent we the people. We the people, over the last 100 years, have been just way too busy, distracted, and we've kind of taken ourselves out of the picture of being that foundation. Life just got very busy between the average family work week moving from 40-hour work week to maybe, for many, 80-hour work week, 400 channels of TV to choose from, social media, keeping up with education. It's just very busy. When something's missing, like a foundation, something is going to fill that void back in. And what's filled that void back in is what we call in the book the green fog. So what is this big green fog that we talk about? Essentially, it's big money controlling elections. It's estimated that about 30% of election money comes from 6 families in the United States. This is accumulated power, and the power is not with the people. Now, imagine that you're a newly elected congressperson. You show up in Washington, you're there your first week, you find where the bathroom is, right? And you're wondering to yourself, like, Where are the people? I came here to serve the people. You know, the government of the people, for the people, by the people. Why are all these businesses and wealthy individuals on my calendar? And what are all these lobbyists walking through the halls of Congress? And where did this big donation come from? And why did they give me such a big donation? And so you can see how we, the people, got lost as we checked out, big money checked in. One of the goals of the book is to inform everyone that we, the people, have to become the power again of this foundation. We're not vilifying business, we're not vilifying money, it's just out of balance. Now, as if the accumulation of power with big money interest wasn't enough, the media now gets into the game. And media is involved because it is also controlled largely by big money, for-profit media. And media is involved with advertising. Advertising is important to sell stuff, whether it's a pair of sunglasses or a new car. America is built on capitalism, a very good thing. It's reduced a lot of poverty. It's created the whole middle class. But the media now can get into the act by basically, think about Fox News telling President Trump that, you know, you're not far enough right. Or CNN telling Vice President Biden, you know, you're not far enough left. So you start to see the influence of media and how media wants to sensationalize things. The deepest, darkest secret of the accumulated power is actually in the two-party system. The two-party systems are more interested in party power than they are with we the people. And that is like unbelievable to discover, but once you see it everywhere. The political parties are not working for we the people. The political parties are working to get reelected, and they need the big money for election campaigns. We also found hope in that even though we the people are so frustrated, we still get jazzed about life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and we the people. And we want to be part of that. The problem is we just don't see a path. We don't see how we can make a contribution. Apparently the solution is not going to come from a modern day Lincoln or Gandhi or Dr. King. The solution is going to come from we the people. And we're going to get to that very soon in the essentials. There are millions of us, we the people, that would like nothing more than to contribute to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness for we the people. In fact, there's over 300 million of us, and only 2% of those officially serve our country, our military people. So what are the other 98% of us doing to preserve life, liberty, pursuit of happiness? We sort of discovered that there are people out there already hard at work in grassroots areas to build this path, and almost no one knows about these. So in the book, we shine a light on these organizations. Another piece of hope, a core philosophy of America, is that there is this space for liberals and conservatives to interact, to build together, to cooperate, to collaborate. And we've discovered, and we've tweaked a little, something called the circle model of liberal and conservative, and where those two meet. Now the media, you won't hear this from because it's not very sensational about people getting along. But this middle ground does exist, and it's part of our core philosophy of America. We call it the circle model, and there are other circle models which we like. We tweak this one to help us understand during this period of divide how they interact and what produces good interaction and what is considered crossing the line to bad. So let's try to quickly go through the essentials of the circle model. Imagine a straight line of liberal and conservative. Liberal, very liberal, very, very liberal. Conservative, very, very conservative. And it's like the two don't meet. That's not how life is. We meet all the time. So other people have demonstrated a model that is more curved. As you climb this model, you go more right, left, left. What bends this curve? Well, there's this kind of planetary gravitational force on the left that says we strive for unity. And there's this gravitational pull on the right that says we strive for meritocracy. Now, they both like meritocracy. They both like equality. What turns out to be important is that, first of all, this line bends towards those two planetary gravitational pulls. Second thing is that meritocracy is wonderful. It's reaping what you sow. It's being rewarded for your hard work. And meritocracy is wonderful for finding something meritorious for everyone to do. It's wonderful when we're empowering people and when we're including everyone in the tribe. Meritocracy has a dark side when we say that we're fearful of such and such a tribe, or when such and such a group is not meritorious, is not contributing, and when certain people might feel superior. On the other side is this feeling of equality, or this hope for equality. And equality is wonderful, especially when it is equal under the law and that no person is above the law. Great stuff. It's wonderful when equality is equal opportunity, that everyone has the opportunity for a great education. But equality can also cross the line into being bad if it is mechanistic equality or a demand for equality, no matter the meritocracy of pulling your own weight. And so this is critical, that we start to understand in the middle we can join, but there are lines that we don't want to cross. And these two planetary pulls have wonderful aspects to them, but they also have a dark side. And what pulls the line up to the top? There is another gravitational pull, and that is total government or statist government. At the bottom is basically anarchy. So we are attracted to more and more rule making as we try to resolve conflicts. One way to resolve conflicts is pile on another rule. Now, you pile on too many rules and you're afraid to move. That's not cool. So this purple area of where we meet is wedged in here. On the bottom, we can't, again, cross the line into feeling like we don't care about the community. And the line at the top is this accumulation of power that we've already talked about. That, folks, is the essentials of the circle model. This space exists for us to collaborate in and compete a little bit. Little competition is good, but collaboration, creativity. The blue area and the red area are right next door to the purple area. We're not far away. Trust is right below the surface, and as Americans, we know how to get to that trust. Yeah, there's some techniques, there's some skills that we're going to need to learn, but we can get to that trust. And we teach you some of those skills in the book. Listen, this is not Pollyanna, kumbaya crap that gets nowhere. This is fighting to understand. This is collaborating. This is tough work. This is the stuff patriots do. But we're not talking about body bags. We're talking about sacrificing ourselves, learning, laying yourself out there to learn, to admit that we don't have all the answers, that we need each other. And it's about balance. The balance and sort of the paradox in America of going it alone and going together. And we need both of those. We need the entrepreneurial spirit of going it alone. That's just embedded in America. But we need the focus on the commonwealth of the whole body of America, we the people. And we need the balance of good and bad, and the freedom to choose between good and bad, and living with the consequences of choosing between good and bad. Not relying on mommy or daddy or dictator or benevolent dictator to make those choices for us. America is built on we the people making choices and living with those choices. And making choices again. We evolve. The wonderful thing about our Constitution is not that it's perfect, is that it's built to evolve. The next piece of hope is that spiritually we are drawn to relationships, and we are not drawn spiritually to build walls between us. We are drawn to be together. That is at the root of we the people. And this is a spiritual strength of America. We try hard to make it clear. You don't have to believe in my God. You don't have to believe in a God, but you do have to believe in goodwill and accept that we are not perfect. We just strive for goodwill. And by striving, we help each other. And to quote Sam from Lord of the Rings, there's some good in this world and it's worth fighting for. I believe our founders built this spirit into our Constitution. Life, respect for life. We are made in our Creator's image. What do we wish to make? Liberty. We were born free, free to choose between vice and virtue. And we can ask ourselves, how are we going to teach virtue and pursuit of happiness without encroaching on the person next to us, or downstream, or downwind? Which brings us to the essential connection between relationship and happiness. Harvard has been doing now an 80-year longitudinal study, which means they take people and they follow them for the rest of their life. They have all but proven that once you satisfy the basic needs of air and water, food, a basic education, a job, a roof, how do we become more happy? What produces more happiness? Their answer, through following people for 80 years. Relationships is what makes the difference. Not more air, not more water, not necessarily a bigger house or a bigger bank account. Those things can make small increments to happiness. I believe our founders knew, and they connected pursuit of happiness to we the people. That's one reason why we're miserable. We're unhappy because we're divided. The second thing that the Harvard study showed after relationships, if you want to be happy, get involved with something bigger than yourself. America is plenty big for us to work on. Which brings us full circle to the vitality of water. It connects us all. And so that's one of the reasons why it's that symbol of so many religions. The thing with relationships is just do it. Just start it. With a dog, with a plant, with yourself, with a friend. Another piece of hope is that we can take action. We are not victims. There is a path, and there are many grassroots organizations already working that almost none of us know about. Two places in the book we point to easy starter steps to take action at the end of Secret 6 and all of Secret 10. And then in Secret 11, we introduce you to 5 areas of grassroots and many organizations in each area of the grassroots that are already hard at work. Grassroots area number 1 is considered, we're all in this together. Every American has an expectation to be part of we the people. And we can bring education back to K through 12, civic education. We can do adult education on tools of conversing about difficult issues. We can each have a season of service, and we can all vote. Grassroots area number 2 is called unrigging the system. In this area, people are working on rooting out big money, dark money influences from election, making elections safe for everyone, and creative things like ranked choice voting, which only few people have heard of, but makes so much sense. Grassroots area number 3 is how do we collect the voice of the people so that it's not just tweeting and millions of squeaky wheels. How do we become a consistent voice? After all, the people we elected work for us, but are we a good boss? Do we give them priorities? Grassroots area number 4 are new ideas coming to the surface that have never been used before. For example, a portal maybe for all Americans to access. Various techniques are being worked on to help us resolve difficult issues so that we can collaborate. And don't we all know that it's like time to reinvent the news? The 5th and final area of grassroots, how do we groom our future leaders to put community ahead of parties? And now you have the essentials. Feel free to dig into other videos. Go to our website. We're happy to send other information. Please view our website as a gateway. We want people to see that we are not doomed, that we can understand this, and that we can take action. On our website is a gateway search tool of the 5 grassroots areas. Pick one and move on. We the People 2.0.